Friends, welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting. We practice immigration law in all 50 states of America from the East Coast to the West Coast. Now, this video, you're going to learn about what the steps are after your case has been approved with the Family Unity Waiver, the 601A, the dreadful waiver form, the perdon. Now, many people have to apply for this because if you're not familiar with this waiver, this is for people who enter the United States without any documentation. The legal term is entered without inspection. Now, there's another phrase people use, but I'm not going to use that word. Now, enter without inspection, EWI. Now, the steps. Now, so you want to stay all the way until the end so you get all the tips, all right? And number one, the first thing you need to do after you get that waiver approval is celebrate, okay? Because number one, as you probably know, the waiver takes now recently at least 8 months to process for a decision. Now, because of the pandemic, it may have taken a little longer for some folks. But specifically this video, we're going to talk about the steps right after the waiver approval. Now, for our law firm, we do most of this before the waiver is approved, just because by the time waiver is approved, we don't want any delay, right? But for most people, especially if you're filing on your own, this is what you do next. And so the first thing, friends, what you want to do is have your tax return ready, all your financial documents, your tax return, your most recent one, your pay stubs, at least the last 2 months ready to go, and your most recent W-2 or 1099, however you get paid. Essentially, you want to provide the government proof of income. Now, we get this question all the time, practically every week. John, what do I do if my petitioner or the sponsor is not working right now, especially because of the pandemic? Now, the first thing we look at is assets. How much money is in a checking account, savings account, any kind of financial account, or even that can include stocks. How much is in that account to see if you don't need a joint sponsor, okay? We want to try to see what we can do without using a joint sponsor. So the financial account, the next thing is, do you own any physical property? Let's say like a house or any other type of property. And then if we have to do what we do in our office is calculate it to where we only find out what the equity is. And equity is, if you're not familiar with this term, is essentially how much you've already paid into that property, especially if you have a mortgage, still currently have a mortgage. And most people still have a mortgage, so that's completely understandable, but we just have to calculate it so that we make the job easier for the government officer. Now, if you still don't qualify, if the petitioner or sponsor still does not qualify on their own to show that the minimum poverty guideline, which, by the way, friends, if you need to figure out how much your petitioner or sponsor needs to show, you can internet search, Bing search or Google search I-864P, and that should show you the most up-to-date chart, okay? So usually if it's a household size of 2 or just you and your spouse and there's no children, I believe it's on average about at least 21,000. So that kind of gives you an idea. And so the more people that live in your house, not just live in your house, but show as a dependent on your tax return, that is what the government relies on, then the more income that the petitioner or sponsor has to provide. Now, let's say the next question we usually receive is, okay, well, the petitioner or sponsor does not have enough income based on that chart and the household size. What do we do next? Okay, you need to have a joint sponsor in that situation. Now, this is, of course, assuming that you as an immigrant beneficiary, the applicant, does not currently have a valid work permit. And some of you might have it because you have DACA, so you have a work permit, or maybe you even have TPS, so you have a valid work permit. So, or maybe you've applied to be applied for asylum case in the meantime. Now that's rare, but if you apply for asylum case within the 1-year deadline of entry, then you're eligible to have a work permit. So that's another situation that you can show that you have legal work authorization. So only when you have legal work authorization or work permit, EAD, then you can show your income to supplement the petitioner or sponsor. But let's just say that uh, your sponsor and yourself do not have enough income based on the poverty guideline 864P chart, then you definitely need a joint sponsor. Now it would be dependent on that joint sponsor's household size. It's no longer dependent on your original sponsor's household size. It will now be a joint sponsor's household size plus the immigrant beneficiary. So let's say it's 5 people in your joint sponsor's home, then it's plus you, okay? Assuming you're the only one that is going to have the interview at the U.S. consulate or embassy. So so basically, friends, there's a lot to consider here. There's a lot more I need to share with you, but friends, if you just need you have a couple questions just to make sure about a preliminary discussion, we do offer free 15 minutes for you. If this is your first time and you're a YouTube subscriber or you follow us on Facebook, we'd greatly appreciate it. So we wanted to offer you a free 15 minutes. Now, this is what you can do. If you're busy at work and you're just watching quickly, you can text this number and our cares team will get to you. Or if you're free, please call our team at this 346 number. And then also, but if you're sitting at your desk or you just have more free time, we do have an intake form down below in the description box. We greatly appreciate if you're able to have the time to fill that out. And what you can do, if you call or text, you need to share this not so secret code, Green Card Guys. And our cares team knows what to do when you mention that code. All right. So, but the other thing I want to mention about the steps after your waiver approval, the family unity waiver, 601A, again, that's wonderful news that not many people have the opportunity to get that approved. And our team works on these cases all the time, pretty much every day. Okay. So we love helping clients prove to the government that your family could suffer hardship. Now, of course, we can't predict the future, but we try our best to really get to know you and your family. We do that for every client. So that's our offer to you. I don't think many law firms really take the time to get to know you. We have a lot of guides and instructions and conversations with our clients to make sure we have all the information correct. All right. So that's about the waiver, but this video is about what the steps are after that. Now, specifically, you have an NVC case number, so you want to enter into the system. But before you even filed the waiver, you already would have paid the $445. So as soon as, now that you've already paid that, right, you can fill out the form DS-260, all right, and then upload those evidence and forms, the 864 form as well, in addition to financial evidence I mentioned earlier. Upload that to the CEAC website. If you're not familiar with the website and the resources, click down in the description below for our website, and then you go to our resource page. And it'll have more website links to take you where you need to go. Now, so after the government NVC receives all your information, they usually send you an email about 1 month after, really to 1 or 2 months after, to show, to tell you that you are DQ'd. Now, that doesn't mean disqualified, okay? Not like in track and field, but DQ'd meaning documentarily qualified. And so what that also means is that your case is in queue for interview abroad. Okay, friends, so that really is just a general overview, of course, but if you want more information, please contact us. We hope we can solve your immigration problem. That's what we do every day, friends. Until next time, please continue wearing a mask. Take care now.